12 o'clock. Chief Tom Hackney.
Good afternoon. For everybody's matter, that same 7, we've got the sheriff's office second. Sheriff's office, the Beaches Police, Orange Park Police. We have the Forestry Service, the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and the U.S. Navy, the United States Navy. It's a Navy town. They brought 75 U.S. Navy personnel out this morning. They were standing there tall, ready to do what they could do. It's nice. Those folks have some security clearance and some background, so they can help us as part of that search. Whereas with the general public, we may not have that same ability, but with that Navy personnel, we can get them out there and do. It's part of the community. It's part of the community that's wanting to step up and help. I talked yesterday about moving up to the north side. We have done that. The entire operation is not on the north side. We've kind of split what we're doing. We have the majority of our efforts are now focused on the north side. Still have some area command on the south side that we had been at the command post before. But that area is, again, an area we're looking specific based on our information, and go into that kind of information, and what led us there is in details won't really be done. It can't help anything, but we're there for a reason. So far, 379 tips have come into the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. We look at each one of those, weigh them for their validity and how they can help, but you can bet every one of those is looked at. I asked yesterday for businesses that are on the north side in a pretty wide sweeping area to look at their video cameras, home surveillance. It's about a 7-day period now, and part of the concern that I have is a lot of times those 7-day videos will get overridden with new information as that comes, depending on how those systems are set up. So the time crunch for that is a little more crucial. So we will again plead for those businesses on the north side, north of the Trout River Bridge, east of I-95 up to Nassau County. We're looking for that Thursday around 7 p.m. till Friday at about 2:20 a.m. just to cover that whole window. Look for that car, that orange car, very distinctive, black hood, lowrider. The front headlights, the side marker lights on the front have a bluish tint to them. We'll put some information out through the PIO's office about how those tail lights look and headlights look in the dark. That may help somebody. But that again is one of the ways that the community can help us, and we're reaching out for that. Over here to my right is a picture of Colton. Yesterday I happened to be at the command post over on the south side. Was taking a call, handling an issue, when I saw a car pull up, and another one of the citizens who was graciously taking their time and their effort and their fortune to donate goods to the sheriff's office and our efforts. Well, little Colton got out of the car, and his mom pointed me out, sitting over there on the phone, and my face being what you've seen to talk about this case since it started, he recognized me. That little boy ran over, threw his arms around my neck, and hugged my neck. And I can tell you this has tugged on my heart, this whole case from the beginning. That melted my heart yesterday. That little boy, there's not been much to smile about through this. That was something yesterday that I could smile about. He wanted to tell me I had asked for prayers. He wanted to make sure that I knew that he'd been praying for Lonzie's recovery. Wow, how do you top that, and how do you get past that? That's just one example through all of this of our citizens in the city of Jacksonville who have stepped up and shown love and support for Lonzie, and this sheriff's office and the searchers through our law enforcement partners who are out there doing everything in their power to find him and to find answers. I said we moved our command post up to the New Berlin Elementary School, which is at 3613 New Berlin Road. Folks are more than welcome, encouraged, and thanked for the drop-off of fluids, small packaged food items that can be handed out to the searchers that they could take with them. To say thanks for the support, it's not enough. Again, my heart's been tugged on through this. When I see those cars drive through and people on their own coming to do that, it's just amazing. People stop me, ask me, what can we do? I get texts and phone calls from friends and family, and what can we do? What can we do? You can pray. I said it before. Answers to this will come through many different means. It's Tom Hackney's personal belief that some of those answers will come through prayer. Again, I said if that offends you, I'm sorry. If it offends you, don't pray. But that's what I'm doing, and I ask others to do as well. Yesterday, I talked about a $4,000 reward for the recovery of Lonzie's body. Again, I feel like this is more of a murder investigation, and I'll call it what it is. If I can find Lonzie, $4,000 is available through Crime Stoppers. That was yesterday. Businesses stepped up. Firehouse Subs and their folks stepped up and said, nah, $4,000 not enough. Let's add $6,000 to that. Another anonymous donor said, you know what, here's another $500. Right this very second, I don't have that cash in hand, but by about 2 o'clock this afternoon, $10,500 is available anonymously to somebody who picks up the phone and calls Crime Stoppers. Doesn't leave their name, doesn't leave their information. All I need to know is where I can direct these searchers to find Lonzie. In whatever shape he's in, I want him back in his family's arms. So the right thing to do can be done to have him found. And again, anyone can call. Ruben, since he decided to kind of stonewall investigators in this effort, I want to make sure he's aware that as many rocks as our searchers out there in the heat are turning over, that the criminal investigators who are looking into this matter, they're turning over the same number of rocks. When you put a puzzle together, as you start to put a puzzle together, you start getting key pieces in. And as those key pieces start coming in, getting put together, a puzzle will go together a lot faster. I did the math. Ruben was alive for 11,796 days before this incident occurred. And during those days, he may have been a good guy. I honestly don't know. But one of those 11,796 days, he was a bad guy. There's a way that can be turned around. There's a way that, again, I said yesterday, that all this can be put to rest. Lonzie can be found. It's by Ruben Ebron doing the right thing. His family, friends, his loved ones who have reached out to the media and to the public to talk about the kind of guy Ruben is, proof's in the pudding. Let's see it. As a father, as a man, he knows what he needs to do. I would appreciate him doing it. I said yesterday, and I've said from the beginning, until there's nowhere else reasonable for our searchers to search, this effort will continue. I can take some questions from the media.
Chief, Lorena Redaction News, how close do you feel like we're getting on here? Day 7 of the search. How close are we?
I wish I knew. I really do. I wish I knew. I know that in the South Side area where we searched, we looked at that from a intelligence-led area that took us to where we thought, based on some information, is the best place to search. Where we've worked through those, or are working through those, and are trying to get done with those. But we're now up to another area. We're going to do the same thing. It's methodical and it's time-consuming. It's not easy. But again, the instructions that I have given to the investigators and the team that's been put together is we're going to look everywhere that we think we need to look. And again, this is not a willy-nilly thing that we're looking. We're looking in places that we've been led to. But I don't know. I really don't.
How many people on horseback?
Just 2. FHP had two horses and they brought them.
Chief, yesterday you told us that you had some information that from a source that you couldn't rely on necessarily, but it was something that you had to follow. Was that source Ruben, or was it someone else?
I don't think, Dana, I don't think I would help you by telling you that source.
Would you say it's not Ruben?
Well, if I had to say it wasn't Ruben, or I said who it was, that would be about the same thing. And I hope the public appreciates where we come from with this, that my effort with you to give you these updates, to share as much information as I can, to keep Lonzie's story and Lonzie's picture out there and this moving. But to share too much hurts that puzzle that I'm building in case that I'm working to make and these detectives are working to make. So it's not to stonewall you, but it's just to protect the investigation.
So you won't confirm or
I will not.
Either way.
Either way.
Chief, Ashley Harding with Channel 4. Just curious, why did the timeline change from last Thursday at 8 o'clock, and then it is shifted back to 7. I noticed you said this yesterday. What was the change there, though? You have to go back an hour?
Just to make sure the bases were completely covered. No specific reason with that, but some folks' cameras, when they look at that, and I throw that out, and I really should have mentioned this yesterday, we found that some of these cameras, and it's typical through these investigations, with daylight savings time will hit and then roll back around. Sometimes the time's off, so a wider net with those is really what my intention with that, less to be specific for any tricky reason, but other than just to make sure that we're looking at the right time frame for that.
Chief David Williams, Fox 35 Orlando. Since you made that request to ask business owners to look at their surveillance videos from that time frame, has anything come of that yet?
A lot of results have come in. A lot of videos have come in. Some folks have said, here's the whole thing in case you need it. There's been a couple things that look promising, but again, I don't share all the things that I hold close. So, but it's promising. There's a reason we're looking for that. So.
And another question.
Sure.
Back to the community effort. Give me a ballpark estimate of how many people have come out of the woodwork to help you guys with donations or helping in the search, and then what that means to you inside.
Hundreds of citizens, non-law enforcement folks who have stepped up to bring items to us to help with that search, to keep our searchers hydrated in the 100-degree heat, to keep them with snacks. I've personally lived off Mountain Dew for the last week or so, and the caffeine is probably not the best thing, but I've done it anyway. And that's the kind of thing that stepped up. Now, law enforcement, you got a couple hundred law enforcement partners that have kind of rotated some staff in and some staff out. I don't know, I've tried to allude that it truly, it makes me proud to live in Jacksonville. I know you're from Orlando, but it makes me proud to be from here. And then when we see the state resources that come up, it makes me proud.
Chief, we have not yet heard from the sheriff, and it's been a week. It's been almost 7 full days. Is he here in town and available to speak to this, or I know he's been on a planned vacation, but we haven't heard anything from him, and he's a new sheriff, and this is a very critical case.
I hear what you're saying. I know our undersheriff had spoken to some of the outlets about where the sheriff's been. Our chain of command works, without somebody there. I'm the chief of detectives. If I happen to take a vacation, that investigation train still keeps rolling. Not trying to make excuses for the sheriff. Like I said, this was a pre-planned vacation he had. He certainly, if this would have gone on and he would have the ability to do it, I can't picture him going on a vacation when this is happening. With him having a pre-planned vacation and that in play before this happened, I can say that I've been in touch with him. I've spoken to him daily. I've spoken to the undersheriff numerous times a day. Our chain of command it works like that, and it works like that for a reason. Regardless of if the sheriff was here standing off camera to my left, I'm still the point of contact for this investigation. I'm working around the clock, losing sleep at night, and so are the hundreds of men and women who are working behind me. And I don't want to detract from what the most important thing is with this, and that's recovering Lonzie. With all respect.
Chief, well, we're getting reports of increased police activity around First Coast High School. Does that have anything to do with Lonzie?
Honestly, I've not been made aware of that. If it does, we'll certainly let you know.
Chief, obviously a lot of manpower has been put on the ground, in the air, you name it, and I know there's obviously an overtime budget. I'm just curious, do you know if you've met that yet with everything that's gone on over the last 7 days?
Part of the incident command system that we talked about is certainly that's something that's watched and measured through that. The figures will be available at the end whenever this is concluded. We can get that. Again, not trying to duck questions. The focus here is Lonzie, the recovery of him, and the investigation into whatever happened to him.
Chief, you know that Ebron was at a kangaroo around 12:33. I think we've been saying this past week. Do you know if he at any point got out and went inside? Is there a picture of him with what he's wearing that maybe you can give to us so we can show to the public so that people know to maybe look for this man wearing this with this description? Is that?
Honestly, that's a fair question. Let me get with the investigators to see if that's something that we have that we're willing to share. That again, if there's a piece of this puzzle that I think I can share that'll help, I will. So I will get that out if I can.
When was the last time anybody spoke to the detectives?
To
Mr. Reaver?
yesterday.
Was it?
So,
So you spoke to him yesterday and also the day before. Have you been speaking to him daily?
no. Again, he has invoked his right to his counsel, and in order for us to speak to him, he has to make that request of us.
So he has requested to talk to you yesterday, and he requested to talk to you the day before
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes.
So,
Chief, we know his father has been to see him. Do we know if anyone else has gone there to visit him, to try to reason with him, to talk? Do we know if anyone else has?
I know there have been other visitors. I know he had a news media interview with an outlet. I believe it was the Florida Star who spoke with him. But again, that was at his request. And so we're monitoring those who visit him. But again, things that happen through there, I think could be relative to the case, and I would hate to jeopardize things, like I said before. So thank you for your attention, and thank you for your time. As things develop, I'll certainly step back out. So again, thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, just to recap for you guys, we just heard from Chief Tom Hackney, and a pretty significant development in terms of how much money is now available for somebody who can call in and give us information on where Lonzie is. We first told you it was around $4,000, but as you just heard, Chief Tom Hackney is saying that now, as of 2 p.m. today, they will have $10,500 available for anybody who calls in and can remain anonymously and tell us where Lonzie is. That has been the main focus here for the past week, officially a week today, and they are not detracting from that, as you just heard. Now, they did expand to the north side, and we also have a crew there and showing you the latest in that area, what they're looking for. I know that they have been trying to get surveillance video in the area, really trying to sort of pinpoint where in the timeline that area could fit. And we also heard from Chief Tom Hackney that he's going to see if he can talk to investigators and maybe get us a photo of what Ruben Ebron was wearing that day and give you a better description of what he looked like that day. Maybe you saw him, maybe you can call in with more tips. More than 300 tips have come in this case in a week already, and they are following up on each and every one. And so that's the latest here at JSO headquarters. We can really see that JSO is not giving up here. Chief Tom Hackney doing a great job in the past week here, telling us exactly what to expect, what they're looking for, and trying to bring Lonzie home. For now, reporting live from downtown, Lorena Inclán, CBS 47 Action News Jax.